So I found out about this statement on Sunday. And my first initial reaction was disbelief. I think that is probably the word. I was not angry. I was not mad. I was in disbelief. I was not in disbelief about the fact that he was in a new relationship. I was in disbelief by the fact that the contents of the statement essentially tried to validate his new relationship by invalidating our relationship. That's what I was in disbelief about. I spent 2 years, 8 months, and 2 days with that man. So the statement that was written, let me first of all say, was not written by Robert. I spent 2 years, 8 months, and 2 days with that man. I know how he speaks. I know how he writes. I had control of Robert's social media for most of our relationship. Let me also say I had the password to Rob's emails. I had the passwords to Rob's phone. And so contents of that statement would have been inaccurate because based on the contents of the statements, it was if I was in a relationship with a man who was confessing or conveying love to another woman when I could see all of the messages between him and this other woman the entirety of the time that we lived together, which was 2 years, 1 month, and 11 days. I had access to all of it. Voicemails, all of it. So unless there was a secret app that he had to communicate with this person, that's ridiculous. And I also know that the intent of the statement was to make me upset, I'm guessing in hopes that I would then respond. Rob and I broke up on June the 30th at 9:45 a.m. At 9:46 a.m., what that man did was no longer my concern. None of it. We were not together. What that man did at 9:42 was my concern. We were still technically together. At 9:46, no longer my concern. Therefore, putting out a statement trying to invalidate a relationship you were no longer in does not make sense. Putting out a statement stating that you were in love with someone and, like Naturally First said, forced to be with someone else. Let me just break down me and Rob's relationship. I have no children for Robert. I am a mother of one with another man. She is 21, almost 22 years old. Rob paid all of the bills in our home, with the exception of groceries and dinners that I would take into once in a while, and I upgraded his wardrobe. Those bills were paid by him. The first month of me getting there, I did do more. I did do more on the financial support side, but after that month, so for basically 2 years, he was with a woman who did not have his kids that he paid all the bills for. There is no reason to be with me in that situation instead of being with the mother of your 2 children. You have no incentive to be with me. You have no familial ties to me. I do not have your children, and you're not gaining anything financially from me. So to make a statement, again, which Robert did not write, she did, because if you read that statement, it's very female. It's very come at me. I got time today. Oh, I'm going to be in the comments. It's egging me on to respond. Funny part about it, I didn't learn about that statement until a week and a bit later. And at this point, we're not together. So you're trying to poke a ghost. I am no longer a part of this man's life. And what he did from 9:46 a.m. on June 30th when we broke up was no longer my business. So the fact that he's back with the mother of his children, that's where he should be. Why? And I'm going to tell you, let me tell you my downfall in the relationship. I did not want to help Robert raise his children at all. That's the bitch in me. That's where I went wrong in the relationship. I had no desire to raise Robert's children. I want to be on a yacht in Bali shaking my ass. Why? Because I spent 21, almost 22 years raising my own, who's about to graduate university on the dean's list. So I walked into a relationship with a man thinking that I could handle something and realized I couldn't. And so therefore, the fact that he went back to the woman who had 2 of his children, that's what you should do. You should go back. You should absolutely go back to the woman who had your children. Because you should not bestow that type of drama onto another unsuspecting woman. So, congratulations. Do you understand how happy I am for those kids? Because I told Robert when we broke up, your life is too chaotic for one person to deal with. You need to go out and be a father to your children. Children, I don't want to help you raise. And so therefore, the life that we both want are very different. I'm not doing PTA meetings. I'm not picking up kids from soccer. I'm not going to spelling bees. I'm not going to dance class. I'm not going to gymnastics. I was already helping him raise one, and that wasn't going so well. And so therefore, it only makes sense for him to go back to someone who has his children. How is that going to make me upset? That's what I told him to do. Because another woman in my situation should not have to deal with his residual drama. So why would I be mad about that? You're trying to argue with a ghost. I was poof, be gone. Let me be clear. I didn't follow Robert on social media. I didn't have any of Robert's text messages anymore. From the moment we broke up, I deleted all of that. Because at 9:46 a.m., Robert was no longer in my life. So anything he did from that point is seriously not my business. Let me also be clear, ladies. Anything he's ever said to me about her is my business. And anything he says to her about me is her business. And so I was not going to go on social media as a 43-year-old woman to argue with a 29-year-old. Yes, she's 29, he's 47. I'm not going to go argue with a 29, maybe she's 30, they're 17 years apart, right? What do I look like as a grown woman going to argue with you about a man that I told that we need to go our separate ways, that we agreed this relationship wasn't working because we wanted separate lives?